Just in, House Intelligence Committee chair say leakers of Flynn call belong in jail. And I absolutely agree. We have a problem within the Trump administration. You had it a little bit in the campaign, but now that President Trump is in office, it seems like leaks are springing up every day. In fact, it seems like there's more leaks, there's more holes within this administration than there is in some Swiss cheese. However, it's time that some of them actually be held accountable for them. And Chairman Devin Nunes of the House Intelligence Committee thinks that some of them might have even broken the law. With these latest leaks of General Flynn's calls to Russians before President Trump was in office, seem to have been possibly illegal, and especially leaking them to the press definitely would cross over the line. 9 leakers, according to the Washington Post they talked to, these are folks within the administration somewhere, decided they were going to tell their story. They were going to all say that it was the exact same thing they heard on these tapes. But funny part is, how do you get those tapes? According to the chairman, there's only 2 ways that you can get wiretapped calls, and you can actually wiretap somebody else's calls. 1, obtain a warrant, which there would be lots of paperwork from a judge saying this. There's none in this case. Or 2, when you are speaking with a foreign official who themselves are being spied upon or under investigation. But even at that point, if there is an American involved, their voice and their actual identity is usually hidden. So why wasn't it in this case? And how did they actually get leaked to 8 officials? If this was something being done just by a sole person, if they were investigating the other side, which is in this case what it looks like to be the Russian official, how is it getting leaked to American officials across the board? Lots of questions going on. But one thing we have to remember, this was prior to President Trump being sworn in. This was done in December. No laws were broken by General Mike Flynn. So why did he have to resign ultimately? Well, it was about an issue of trust, not national security. And while I heard all of these Democrats, and it almost seems like this is becoming a version of a witch hunt, while all of these Democrats continue to whine and cry and say this is the biggest security breach that they have had in their entire lifetime, I would like to remind them that they nominated a candidate who had a private server in her basement with 34,000 emails still missing, and she was Secretary of State in office at the time. No harm was done here. So then the question is, yes, I understand President Trump dismissing based on trust. Trust is a big issue that both the president and the vice president needs to have of their national security advisor. However, was there more to this? You've heard different other conspiracy theories out there. General Flynn had obviously said many times that he wanted to get rid of the precious Iranian deal, that many of those within the Democrat Party and those that were left over in the Obama administration loved. Could this have just been the reason why? Because he was going to expose everything that was going along with it? This, a man who the Obama administration had hired twice, promoted, and then eventually fired because he was insubordinate and refused to go along with the plan. General Flynn already had a target on his head, and unfortunately, it looks like this time took him under. But is this going to be the first or the last time that you see these continued attacks onto those within the Trump administration? I highly doubt it. The fight is just beginning, and while they continue to draw holes and expose these leaks, the best way to do it is get rid of all of those Obama people that are still around the White House, still around the administration, that President Trump kept around in order to help a clean transition. Well, it looks like he can't trust them, and in this case, it took one of his own.